Hello, my name is James Thorpe and I'm the Managing Editor of the Security Division here at Centurion Media. I'm today really pleased to be on the Soloinsight stand at TSC in Birmingham, speaking with the CEO of the company, Carter T. Kennedy. I really hope you enjoy the conversation. Carter, thank you for joining me today at TSC. I think to start, actually, can you just introduce yourself and a little bit about Soloinsight for our viewers, please?
Sure. My name's Carter Kennedy. I'm CEO of Soloinsight. We're a physical identity governance platform that manages the identities of everyone in large organizations.
So how are expectations around physical identity and access management evolving?
They're changing dramatically. We built CloudGate, the physical identity access control governance platform, to sit on top of access control systems, HR systems, and give you a single source of truth for every identity so the CSO knows who and where and why people come on board. I mean, we're managing large enterprises, Fortune 100 companies, healthcare companies, commercial real estate, and giving that CSO one source of truth and one platform to govern every identity in that organization.
Fantastic. And obviously, you touched on there some of those sectors where you're seeing that demand. I mean, for CloudGate specifically, where are you seeing those exciting growth areas? Is it in healthcare, in those large enterprises?
You know, it's across the board. I mean, enterprises have a variety of different challenges. They want to have one source of truth and that one pane of glass to manage all risk as well as access control. So you need a physical identity governance to sit on top of access control, to enable AI, to give you a clear visibility in terms of what's taking place in an organization. So we're seeing a massive amount of demand in in banking, in commercial real estate, as well as in healthcare, where complex circumstances need to be solved with a physical identity governance platform.
Fantastic. And when we look at that idea of visibility, a lot of that's tied to, I think, bringing together convenience, effectiveness, and obviously the security piece there. How do you manage that process of bringing those items together for a CSO, for example?
That's a really good question. So, a challenge is who's coming into your building? Is it a visitor? Is it a vendor? Is it a contractor? Is it an employee, a tenant, a patient? And then how do you recognize them? You recognize them through biometrics? Do you recognize them through mobile credentials? Do you recognize them through a QR code? Then do you have the integrations? Do you have the middleware solution that actually can connect to over 30 physical access control solutions, over 150 solutions overall? And then how do you normalize that information so you can be specific around healthcare or finance or oil and gas or commercial real estate? You put it into a compliance stack that determines whether or not you need HL7 or EPIC or CTPATs or SOC 1 and SOC 2 or ISO or HIPAA. And then it's a configuration stage, and that's how we break it down very, very simply. You know, our ideal customer profile is the global chief security officer that has all these different data points to manage and just wants a clear vision on who's in the building, why they're in the building, where they're going, and why.
Fantastic. Just an additional question for me. I hope it's not too much of a curveball. You touched on having that kind of bespoke offering there. Obviously, one of the things you're showcasing in your stand here at CSC is that ecosystem you mentioned there. How important is having that wider, connected, and I guess open approach when you're talking to the market?
Yeah, that's the other piece of the puzzle is the whole security stack is going to thrive best when there's one pane of glass. When you, instead of having a vendor for visitor management and contractor management and cobbling together point solutions, trying to manage those discrete databases. Yeah. What you want is one solution that can manage all identities across the enterprise. That doesn't require a rip and replace solution. So keep your security infrastructure in place, make it smart with CloudGate. Govern the identities across your entire organization through federation, location by location, role by role, compliance stack requirement by compliance requirement, and make sure you have one clean risk analytics pane of glass that can help you manage the entire portfolio.
Fantastic. And finally, obviously, we're chatting here at TSC in Birmingham, but obviously, I know when we're chatting off camera, you guys were at ISC West as well a few weeks ago at the time of recording. But how important are trade shows and just also having those kind of face-to-face touch points with the market for you guys?
It's very basic. People buy from people they like and trust. Yeah. So this is, if we think about what we actually do, what we're trying to do is take advantage of our two most important assets, our left ear and our right ear.
Yeah.
And the questions that we ask of our end users to find out their urgent needs, what compliance issues do they have? Is there a workplace violence concern? What is actually driving the desire to use a technology like ours that enhances your experience, that end user, it makes you significantly more secure? So it's very, very important that we have a face-to-face meeting and manage those relationships now and going forward. We're hoping to keep these customers for life. That's our goal. And it's, each person within Soloinsight has a chip on their shoulder because they care about that. They care about that end user. They wear that. They own that responsibility, and they're committed to making each and every customer feel special.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did lie a little bit. I did have one extra question I wanted to ask on that front. When you look at that end user and you look at that kind of, I guess you'd say that ideal clientele for you guys in that CSO, that senior CSO role, you touched on that using both ears and having that actual direct engagement with him. Do you think that's a core component for the future of the industry, is keeping that direct conversation with the end user as a vendor? Do you think that's really critical going forward?
It's an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
So we are domain experts in security, we're domain experts in access, we're domain experts in AI. How we roll all that together to provide the best-in-class solution for our end users is extraordinarily important. And our ability to communicate what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and how it actually enhances every part of the organizational structure, enhances your business processes, and gives you better visibility from a risk perspective. That's something that we have to be able to communicate because we ask good questions and we listen.
Yeah. Carter, absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.